Alright, before I start this video, I have a couple of things I want to say. The first being that, I'm gonna start uploading probably every day, except for, of course, Saturday and Sunday, because, I mean, everybody needs a break, right? Um, Second thing being is I want to give a big thanks to, the Dark King, or the Dark King What Ifs, for making this thumbnail, and for also making a thumbnail for What If Luffy had two devil fruits, and well, all the series I have. He thanks for that, Dark. I will leave his channel link in the description of the video. If you could go check out his channel, that would be great. I mean, I enjoy his What Ifs, and that's actually supposed to be a compliment because I don't watch a lot of What Ifs anymore. The third thing being is I'm using a new editing software. So if you guys like it, please let me know. Or if you guys don't like it, let me know that too. So, yeah, with that out of the way, roll the intro. Alright, so where we last left off was Kakashi telling them not to eat the next day. But, Naruto, not being a retard, of course eats. He doesn't like to follow directions. He's more of a how do you call it? He doesn't follow directions is all I can say. So yeah, so he eats before he goes. So the next day, he arrives like 30 minutes before Kakashi arrives, and both Sakura and Sasuke are both like, they're like kind of weirded out. They're like, why did he arrive so late? Like, they're confused. And of course, Sasuke asks Naruto, he's like, what took you so long? And Naruto's like, none of your business. And Sasuke's like, we're a team, so it's kind of my business. And Naruto's like, if you want to know what happened, you're gonna have to beat it out of me. And Sasuke's like, he just doesn't respond to that because he knows he's gonna lose. But Naruto, being of course a little empathetic, is like, fine, I'll tell you. He's like, well, I went and ate, I changed, I woke up a little late. It wasn't my fault. I like to sleep in. And Sakura like literally shouts, she's like, you are not supposed to eat. Naruto's like, all right, what are you gonna do about it? Do something about it. Do something about it. And Sakura's like, she just like tries to come and hit him, and Naruto's like, "Oop, miss me with that," and then she like goes in for another punch, and then like, what Naruto does is he grabs that hand and pulls her to the ground and just holds her by her left arm, and Sakura's like, "Let me go, let me go," and Naruto's like, make me let you go. And then he just like tugging on her like a lot. Like this is actually about to break her arm. And Kakashi like just pops out of nowhere. He's like, that's enough. And Naruto's like, make me stop. This is actually kind of fun. And Kakashi's like, fine. And what he does is he freaking makes he just like transports Sakura out of Naruto's hand view, I guess. I don't know. He like in an instant, like Sakura's gone. And Naruto's like, ooh, you're pretty fast. I like you. And Kakashi's like, okay, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay. So of course, and then Naruto's like, well, you're late, senseis aren't supposed to be late, especially at a time of need like this. And then Kakashi like remembers when Minato was late and how Obito died because Minato was being late. And he's like, well, somebody did that to me once. And Naruto's like, oh, was it my father? And Kakashi's like, well, long story short, yes, it was. And Naruto's like, well, he's not gonna, he was never fast enough, even though he was called the Flash, the Yellow Flash. He never even got to protect his students, almost like you. And Kakashi actually thinks about this. He's like, why did I arrive late? But anyways, he just avoids the question, and he's like, all right, well, today's little exercise we're gonna do is the bell test. And Naruto's like, huh? Like, making it seem like he doesn't know about the bell test when he kind of probably knows. He does know, actually. And so Kakashi explains, like, the bell test and how there's two bells and they have to take it from him. And Sakura's like, but there's only two bells and there's three of us. And Kakashi's like, that's the point. Only two of you gets to pass. Sorry. Sakura's like, huh? So that means I won't be passing? And Kakashi's like, well, nobody ever said that you won't be passing. I mean, you can come through, like, you never know the future. And Naruto's like, I think everybody here knows what's gonna happen, so no need to make your hopes go up. And Kakashi's like, no need to be so rude, you don't really know about the future. And Naruto's like, oh, I know, that she's definitely not gonna get one of those bells, especially from a Jonin that's supposed to have the Sharingan. And Kakashi's like, I told you, you don't need to bring up my Sharingan all the time. And Naruto's like, well, that's what makes you, Kakashi of the Sharingan. It's unfortunate that you lost, he's like, it's unfortunate that you lost your friend, but it's a good fortune that you got his Sharingan. And he just, like, stopped talking about that time. Naruto is, like, pissing Kakashi off. Like, he does not want to remember the past. And Naruto's like, make me. You can't hurt me. Come on, make me. Come on. And Kakashi just, like, he doesn't do anything. So he's like, all right, you guys have this, you guys have, like, a time limit. So, you guys are going to have to, get the bells before lunchtime. And Naruto's like, easy. So, so Kakashi starts the bell test, and everybody leaves, except for Naruto. Because, And, of course, Naruto. So what was I about to say? So what happens is Kakashi's like, oh, you're pretty arrogant. And Naruto is like, well, I wouldn't be this arrogant if I knew I was going to be able to take a bell from you pretty fast. And Naruto's like, are you a ninja, or are you just, like, what are you trying to do here? And Kakashi just looks up and he sees, like, a Naruto, the real Naruto, eating some, like, ramen, and just, like, chilling up on top of a tree. While he looks down, he's like, oh, so this is one of your little cool shadow clones that can take damage. And Naruto's like, well, precisely, yes. But, I just want to get a little comprehension of your abilities before I actually go in. So, of course, the Naruto clone does, like, a fireball jutsu. And Kakashi, in an instant, he's like, what? I don't know, almost any Genin that can do a fireball this big. Even Itachi couldn't do this. So, so he's astonished. And by the time, Kakashi escapes from the fireball, this gives Naruto enough time to, like, go behind him and put a kunai right next to his throat. And Kakashi's like, you're pretty good, you're pretty good. And Naruto's like, I'm not good, I'm the best. And Kakashi's like, are you sure about that? And right when Naruto was about to take the bells, Kakashi just poofs away and appears behind the real Naruto. Naruto's like, huh, pretty clever, but I was expecting that. This feels like a detective movie. So yeah, Naruto like is like I was expecting that. So Kakashi like tries to and so Naruto like drops his ramen, just like goes into a battle with Kakashi, and Kakashi and Naruto are actually like getting like are doing a pretty good fight. Naruto's putting up a pretty good fight, even though he doesn't have like much skills against combat, especially against Kakashi. So they're having a pretty good taijutsu battle, and you can just see clashing. Like you don't see anything else, but like sparks. And Sasuke and Sakura are like, what? How is Naruto this fast? Like they don't understand how Naruto's like this fast. Nah, Sasuke knows that it's probably because of training. Sakura thinks it's natural born talent. And both those answers are correct. But anyways, so yeah, so Naruto of course is like using different jutsus, many jutsus actually. He's not using his water element just yet because he hasn't perfected it. Um so yeah, so he's like trying to get Kakashi off guard, trying to just like sorry if I'm like blanking out, it's because it's very late for me. Um, so yeah, Naruto's like trying to make Kakashi like do like a false move so he can go and get the bells, and he's like doing Shadow Clone, doing like some lightning jutsus, like the lightning illusion flash pillar, which is definitely shocking, not shocking, but like definitely leading Kakashi in the wrong way. But Kakashi like is almost a master at lightning because I mean he created his own jutsu. So Naruto's like, hey, I got a great idea. I learned this a little while ago. He's like lightning style, lightning magnet, and this just like takes away all of Kakashi's kunais, all of Sasuke's and Sakura's kunais. And Naruto did this on purpose because he wanted to make sure Kakashi knows where Sasuke and Sakura are. Because when he did that jutsu, it took all the kunais in the surrounding vicinity, including his. Because, I mean, he's not, like, perfect at using it. This is, like, his second, third time using it. And Kakashi's like, that definitely hurt you more than it probably hurt me. And Naruto's like, I can fight without a kunai. I think everybody can. It's called taijutsu. And Kakashi's like, are you trying to make me, I'm supposed to be the teacher, not you. And Naruto's like, well, I probably know more shit than you. So, what happens is Kakashi makes two other clones, and he makes him go after Sasuke. And what Naruto does in this instant creates 50 shadow clones. Those 50 shadow clones, out of the two of them, does a headhunter jutsu, and two of them go down. And Kakashi doesn't notice this. So all of the shadow clones are, fighting Kakashi, and Kakashi's of course beating them pretty freaking easily. And, Naruto's like, huh, you're pretty good, but not good enough. And he makes like another 100 more shadow clones, and this time they all use, like 33 of them use wind jutsu, another 33 use fire style, and then another 33 use lightning jutsu. And while they're doing this attack, Naruto is like draining on chakra because that's a lot of jutsus in an instant. So while Kakashi is getting bombarded with all these jutsus, the first headhunter jutsu, Shadow Clone, pulls Kakashi underground, and this is when the real Naruto does a fireball, and while the fireball is like about to hit Kakashi, the second headhunter shadow clone takes the bells, does a shadow like two shadow does like shadow clones, transforms them into bells and puts them back into Kakashi's pocket. And so and Kakashi thinks that he still has the bells. So what happens is Kakashi definitely gets some pretty bad burns, but he does a transformation jutsu and like transforms into a log. And Naruto's like, dang, I thought I almost got him. Of course bluffing. But inside he's like, fuck yeah, dude. And he's like, I beat Kakashi of the Sharingan. And Kakashi, of course, already dealt with Sasuke and Sakura. He probably like tied up both of them. So the Naruto and Kakashi's battle keep on going. And by this time, Kakashi's actually using his Sharingan because he knows that he can't keep up with Naruto if he keeps on, not going all out. So this is when the timer goes off and Kakashi's like, well, you all lost. And Naruto's like, you might want to look around before you say that. He's like, I don't have to look around. I still have the two bells. And Naruto's like, look a little closer. And he like takes out the bells and they just like poof away into shadow clones. They're like, Kakashi's like, what? When? And Naruto's like, he just takes out two bells. And, Naruto's like, it was actually pretty easy taking these away from you. And I thought you were gonna give me a challenge. So, Sasuke and Sakura are like, what? I thought Kakashi was going on easy on him. Kakashi's like, at least tell me when you got him. And Naruto's like, remember that little big attack I did with all my shadow clones? And Kakashi's like, yeah, what about it? And Naruto's like, there wasn't only one headhunter shadow clone, there was two. The other one took the bells and transformed them into another two bells. And Kakashi's like, you're pretty clever for a Genin. And Kakashi in his mind is like, holy shit, how is this kid so good? He beat me, a fucking Jonin. So, of course, Kakashi goes home and cries to himself to bed because he's like, Obito, I fucking, how? But before that, Kakashi's like, you're going to have to pass one of those bells to somebody. Who are you going to do it to? And Naruto's like, stop bluffing, I read up on this little test that you gave us today. And the purpose of it was to actually, use teamwork. I mean, of course, I didn't use teamwork, but I mean, I could always give these two bells to these two, and it could be considered teamwork. And Kakashi's like, did you just break the system? And he's like, in his mind, he's like, I think he just broke the system. I don't. That's not how it works. He's like, that's not how it works. So of course, Sakura gladly accepts it. And Sasuke's like, fuck no, I'm not going to accept it. I would rather, go through the whole academy than accept that bell. And Kakashi's like, well, if you don't accept it, then you're going to have to go to the academy because what Naruto says is true. And Sasuke looks up to Naruto. He's like, fine, give it to me. And Naruto's like, no need to give me commands. You know what's going to happen if you make me angry. And Sasuke's like, what, are you going to try to kill my parents even though they're dead? Oh, Naruto's like, oh no, something even worse. I'm going to pull out those things that make you an Uchiha. Which means you're always going to be blind. And Sasuke's like, oh yeah, I should probably not fuck with him. So, so Team 7 is created. So this is when they do D-rank missions. Now, for the first week, Naruto's literally not even helping. Well, for the first 2 days, Naruto's not helping. And Sakura gets annoyed at this. She's like, hey Naruto, what are you doing? You should at least help us. these might be a waste of your time, but there's still something to pass the time. And Naruto's like, I would rather be reading on books or something than do these lousy missions. And Kakashi's like, he's right. He's better than these missions. And, Sasuke's like, so what? Are we not, better than these missions? And to this, Kakashi responds, well, every Genin has to start somewhere. Or every Genin like you has to start somewhere. And, Sasuke just gets super pissed off. He tries to, body flicker. I mean, not body flicker. Tries to, throw a kunai. And Naruto's like, too slow. And, Sakura being, kind of pissed off. She's like, if you're so good for these, how about you do all the D-rank missions for the whole week? And Naruto does them in, an hour. And Naruto's like, alright, I'm gonna be gone for the whole week. And this is, of course, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi still have to do more D-rank missions. But since Naruto did all their D-rank missions for a whole week, yeah, he gets a week off. By Kakashi's standards, I guess. Or Kakashi's words. So, so literally Team 7 completes D-rank mission after D-rank mission, and the third Hokage is noticing this. He's like, he calls over all the teams, and he's like, Naruto. He's like, Naruto, my boy, your team has been doing really well, and for that I will give you a a good 2-week break, because this is a little before the Tazuna mission, and that's when the real storyline begins. And he's like, Naruto, my boy, you've been doing really well, so for that I will congratulate you, or I will give you a gift. And he passes him over a scroll, and he's like, this is an A-rank scroll. This has about every element in it. It has body flicker. It has a lot of jutsus. So you should probably learn them. And the third Hokage is like, and sometimes since you exceed my expectations, I will give you, if you finish this in 2 weeks, I might actually allow you to look in the scroll ceiling. And Naruto's like, huh? Did I just hear that right? And the third Hokage is like, maybe. I might let you do it. And, Naruto's like, alright, yes, sir. Gonna get on that shit right now. And all the teams are like, freaking, what? So what about us? And the third Hokage's like, see, Naruto is special. I'm not saying you guys are not special. It's just, I'm saying Naruto is definitely more special than you. And, the team captains are like, the third Hokage, you don't have to treat Naruto like that. You have to give us a little bit of respect, too. And, the third Hokage is like, well, yeah, he's like what you call a Minato. Or, a fourth Hokage combined with, Itachi. And everybody's like, every team captain knows what he's talking about. They're like, what? He's as good as both of them combined? And the third Hokage is like, probably even better than those two combined. And everybody's shocked. But still, everybody's like, what about us? Team 7 is like, what about us? Why can't we get a A-rank scroll? And the third guy is like, well, you guys aren't special enough. I told you. And so Naruto, of course, poofs away. And that's about it. But the third Hokage is, of course, kind of sad. He's like, I thought Naruto would actually come and visit me for once. He's actually kind of sad. But during this time, Naruto was working on that scroll day and night, because he really wants to take a little peek in that scroll ceiling, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Oh. So about a week and a half passes, and Naruto's called back. And he, of course, comes back with the scroll. And, the third Hokage is like, so how is your training with the scroll going? And Naruto's like, oh, I was about to come back here anyways, to return what I've borrowed. And the third Hokage like, you can't mean. And Naruto just like pulls out the scroll. He's like, so I completed this, and this is probably better than your expectations. So you better let me have a peek in that scroll. And the third Hokage is like, I don't believe you. There's no way that a Genin, almost, okay, let's say a high tuning, could still comprehend an A-ranked scroll that has so many, jutsus in it. Well, Naruto's like, well, I mean, I did it, so... yeah, so, like, Naruto's like, so I did it, so... So now our third Hokage still doesn't believe Naruto. He's like, I need you to prove yourself. Like, I need you to, like, tell me, like, at least... show me at least, like, 4 or 5 of, like, the jutsus you learned. Naruto, of course, shows it off. And the third guy is, like, impressed. He's like, that dream of becoming the next Hokage actually might come true sooner than you think. And Naruto's like, nah, I'm not thinking of becoming the next Hokage. I'm thinking of becoming the next Sage of Six Paths. And, the third Hokage is like, being a Hokage is actually pretty big. Now, being the Sage of Six Paths is, a feat like nobody has ever done except for the Sage of Six Paths. And Naruto's like, well, I mean, I'll just do it. Doesn't look too hard. Doesn't feel too hard anyways. And so Naruto's like, so you're gonna keep that promise, or like, are you gonna be known as a liar? And the third Hokage's like, well, you're only gonna get 10 minutes. And Naruto's like, 10 minutes, still 10 minutes. So he looks through the scroll and he writes down 3 jutsus that appeal to him. This is the first one being the multi-shadow clone jutsu, the second one being the Chidori, and the third one being the Rasengan, because I'm not trying to make him overpowered with giving him, like, the flying Raijin or anything. Because I already made him an overpowered what if on the Banished series. So I'm probably gonna make it more overpowered here, without giving him, like, any special jutsus. So, the third Hokage is like, I bet you couldn't learn anything in there anyways. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I just can't let you have too big of a peak in that scroll of ceiling. And Naruto's like, it's all good. I, got a photograph of everything. And the third Hokage is like, huh? And, Naruto's like, just pass me a scroll. So the third Hokage, of course, passes him a blank scroll, and he just writes down the Chidori, the Rasengan, and the multi-shadow clone jutsu. And then the third Hokage is like, that's cheating. That I call hacks. I fucking call hacks. I don't, I'm not allowing this. I'm gonna burn it. And Naruto like, I don't think you have the right to, because this is my scroll now. Anyways, Naruto's like, is it alright if I practice a jutsu here? And the third Hokage's like, yeah, that's all good. So Naruto's like, alright. And after, like, 1 or 2 tries, he instantly gets down, like, the multi-shadow clone jutsu. And the third Hokage is like, but how? That's the jutsu created by the second Hokage, and it's actually supposed to be an S-rank jutsu. What? And Naruto's like, yeah, I have, like, a good way of learning. And so, Naruto's like, so do you know how to do the Rasengan by any chance? And the third Hokage is like, well, yeah, I know how to do it. I mean, I haven't used it, though. Naruto's like, that's great. You're going to have to teach me tomorrow. And, a little later. So, and so Naruto just walks out, and the third Hokage is, like, mind-blowing. He's like, how is this kid so good? And he's, like, thinking about Minato. He's like, Minato, you've made a monster. I'm not even going to call him a demon anymore. I'm actually scared for my life. Like, I don't want to go against that guy. So, at this time, Naruto goes straight to Kakashi's house. I don't think in the anime they told about where Kakashi lived. So I mean, I don't. I think Naruto would know where Kakashi lives. So Naruto just like goes to Kakashi's house and he does like a body flicker in there. And this is like right when Kakashi was about to go to the shower, so he has his mask off, and Naruto's like, knock knock, and Kakashi like tries to put on his mask, but it doesn't work because he's like trying to do it too fast. And Naruto's like, no point in doing it. I already saw your face. And Kakashi's like, oh, okay, but, you know, you should at least actually knock on the front door. And Naruto's like, hey, I mean, at least I knocked. So Kakashi's like, all right, what do you need me for anyways? And Naruto's like, well, I need to ask you something. So, of course, Kakashi, like, sits down, and Naruto sits down. And Naruto's like, can you teach me the Chidori? And Kakashi's like, huh? And Naruto's like, the Chidori, you know, the jutsu that you made when you were, like, 14, 15 years old. And Kakashi's like, how do you even know about that? And, you know, Naruto's like, well, something that includes the scroll ceiling and the third Hokage. That's all I can say. And, you know, Kakashi was like, I didn't think that, you know, the old man would actually go through with this promise. But anyways, Kakashi's like, I can't do that. I can't show you that jutsu because, first of all, I think it's a little too hard for you. And second of all, it's gonna give you, you know, almost blindness when you use it. Or tunnel vision. Yeah, that's why it's made for people, you know, Uchihas. And Naruto's like, well, I'll come around it. Kakashi's like, even then, it's a hard jutsu to learn. And Naruto's like, do you remember who I am? You know, do you remember how I'm known as the kid who can learn like 1,000 jutsus? Kind of taking Kakashi's name, by the way. And Kakashi's like, you know, like, fine, I'll teach it to you. Just don't cry to me when you don't learn it in like 3 years. And Naruto's like, 3 years? Who the fuck do you think I am? I'll easily be able to learn that jutsu in like, I don't know, a week. Kakashi just laughs. He's like, a week. So anyways, they start training on the Chidori. And of course, they only have like 3 or 4 days to practice it. Because, you know, they get called back, and this is when the Tazuna mission starts. So Tazuna comes to the door, and he, of course, starts insulting Sakura, then to Sasuke. And when he comes over to Naruto, he's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna fuck with that guy. He has an intimidating aura. If I, you know, say something, he's probably gonna be able to kill me. So, yeah. So they start walking, and Naruto notices a puddle. Naruto's like, great, you know, a little fun on the way never hurts. So, so Naruto just, makes a shadow clone, and he makes that shadow clone so that the Chunin brothers would go, to Naruto, or like, Naruto would be the first person the Chunin brothers would attack. So, the Chunin brothers pop out, and they, quote unquote, kill Naruto because he made like a special shadow clone that can take damage. And Kakashi just like smiles. He's like, I see. And Kakashi, of course, does like the little trick where he kills himself off. And, you know, what happens is once they try to go after Tazuna, Naruto's is like a freaking what's the name? A fire style fireball jutsu. I mean fire style fire phoenix jutsu. And this just gives like both the Chunin brothers like a 2nd degree burn, and they're like really burned. And Naruto ties them up, and you know, so they don't want to talk. So Naruto's like, so what's your goal of coming here? And they don't say anything. And so Naruto, what he does is like, he takes out a kunai. He's like, so, what's the best torture method? And what he does is like he cuts off one of their fingers, each one of them, and this hurts. And both Sasuke, Sakura, and Tazuna, even Kakashi's like shocked. They're like, you know, he knows how to torture people at such a young age. Especially Kakashi's thinking this. He's like, you know, even I needed to get used to torturing people, and he's already, mastered it. So, of course, Naruto cuts off like 3 of their fingers on each of their hands before they start talking, and they, of course, tell everything. And Naruto's like, oh, thank you for that. See, and then he's like, see, now I can't really let you go. So what he does, he makes like a small, like a imperformed Chidori, and he puts like a lot of voltage through it, and he just like burns them inside out. And Kakashi's like, he's impressed. He's like, even when I was in the Anbu, I could kill people for a good while. It took me a while for me to get used to killing. And now Sasuke's like fucking shocked. He's like, yeah, no, if I ever try to mess with Naruto, please let me know, because I don't want to die. So, yeah. So if they're, of course, they keep on walking, and Naruto, of course, throws a kunai right at a white rabbit. And now Sakura is like, why would you throw a kunai? It's just a rabbit. It's not gonna do you any harm. And Naruto's like, oh, if only you knew. And Kakashi's like, what is it, Naruto? What do you sense? Because he knows Naruto wouldn't do that, like, on a whim. And Naruto's like, alright, so first of all, that's a white rabbit. It hasn't even snowed for, like, the past 3 months. Second of all, white rabbits only live in snowy places. So I don't understand how a white rabbit would end up here unless it's a transformation. And right when he says this, he's like, I would recommend everybody to duck. And, everybody ducks, and then Naruto just, like, dodges out of the way. And this is when Zabuza's sword comes flying in. That's where I'm going to leave it off. It's very late for me today. Yeah, sorry if this video had, like, no emotion. Like, if I added, like, no jokes into it. It's very late, but I thought I would still get a video out for you guys. Yeah, so, please like and subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 or 500 and then 1,000. I have a big special for that 500 sub special. I'm only, like, 100 subs away. So that'd be great if you could get me there. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day.